This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we talk about the cartoon Turbo Teen.
Just call sounds.
It's like that episode of South Park with the bikers.
Yeah.
And they're just like... And then they call him a homophobic slur. Anyway, Joel.
Yes,
What's
Andrew.
up? This has been requested by so many people, I don't really remember who to give it credit to.
A lot of people have requested
But a lot of people have wanted us to talk about Turbo Teen. And after watching it, I can see why.
Yes.
It's, you know what? I don't even want to call it bad. It's just such a strange concept. Because it's like everyone's goals except for Brett Matthews are just odd. Like, you're like, what?
Yeah, it really is like, what is this supposed to be? It's like,
Yeah.
It's just so confusing watching it and just thinking what is supposed to be happening? What's
And
the
then
meaning?
when you learn about it and dig into it, it gets even stranger to me because of why this show was made. It's just like, what are we doing here? Why this?
Why?
But before we get into that, Joel, we gotta review that theme song.
Well, what was the new slogan?
Oh, I don't remember.
Daddy,
This is why we don't have reoccurring jokes.
Daddy needs a new theme song. I guess I don't
Daddy
know.
needs a new theme song.
Well, let's hit it, Andrew.
All right.
It was a stormy night when a bolt of lightning forced me off the road. My car skidded into a government laboratory where a top-secret experiment was underway. I swerved into the path of Dr. Chase's molecular transfer rays, causing me and my car to become one. The incredible Turbo Teen!
Here's something I don't understand about the intro of Turbo Teen.
What?
What were they shooting at the molecular beam beforehand?
Nothing. Ew.
Yeah, it was just, they just fired it to fire it?
What you don't know, they caused that lightning strike to hit that tree that caused them to wreck his car because it was like, this is how we get him. This
I
is it.
feel like he would have died anyway, because how fast he was going over what I assume is Dead Man's Curve. Because he flies off that mountain.
He does. Like,
He doesn't even touch the ground when he gets hit by the beam.
this show does not do a very good job with animating speed very well.
No. Oddly enough, this show about a car is not good at animating speed, unfortunately.
Yeah, because, like, it does, like, even in that trailer, in the show, it just looks like they're going for a leisure
Yeah.
stroll everywhere they go. It's hilarious.
So, this is, what do you give it?
3.
3?
Yeah.
I'm right there. I'm like, yeah, I'd give it about a 3.
Yeah,
It's not good.
It's not
It's
good.
old.
It's old. It's old and just. I feel like even when it came out,
Yeah.
wasn't that
It
good.
was only one season, probably for a pretty good reason.
13
But
episodes.
Joel, that's pretty average for a season.
For a cartoon from the 80s.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't your average for ABC.
Okay. Okay.
It wasn't the old pump and dump
No.
like we're used to. But no, it's, I mean, that for a typical series of something, they do a 1 season 13. That's usually what you're going with.
All right.
But Joel, how did this get made?
So, Andrew, believe it or not, this is actually a Reagan show. This is a failed Reagan show.
Oh, did it have merchandise?
It had like one thing,
Oh.
and that was it. Oh, okay. It had two things. It had like a transformer. It was actually a GoBot. It literally was a reskin of the current GoBots that was like in circulation.
But it turned into Brett Matthews.
Yeah. Well, it didn't even turn into Brett Matthews. It literally, the car transformed and then a human head just popped out of its chest.
Oh, good. Even worse.
It's terrible.
Wow, GoBots no longer are the shittiest Transformer.
It
It's
is
now Brett Matthews.
It is terrible. And they had a coloring book. That was it.
Fun. Okay.
But
nice.
the purpose of this was to just get children interested in a product to sell them merchandise. But they failed at even that. Terribly. So this was, we've already mentioned 1 season, 13 episodes, ran on ABC, aired on September 8th, 1984. It was produced by Ruby Spears Production.
We haven't talked about them in a long time.
No, and I mean, honestly, at this point, Ruby Spears is, I'm not going to say killing it, but they're doing pretty well for themselves. I mean, you're talking about they've got like Thunder, the Barbarian, the Plastic Man Comedy Adventure show going on for them. Just a bunch of different stuff that is actually working in their favor.
Those two examples are both shows that we would probably cover on this show.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
So that if that's them killing it,
well,
let's see why they're not around.
In the 80s, those shows were,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Those shows were killing it. But basically what happened, they wanted to create something else. They wanted to sell merchandise. And at this time, there was another show that was pretty popular, Andrew. A show called Knight Rider.
I hope that people who listen to this show even know what Knight Rider is.
Look, if they're listening to this show, they know Kit and Knight Rider.
True. Just for clarification, Knight Rider is another show about a talking car, only this one doesn't turn into a boy. And I think it's driven by David Hasselhoff.
You got it right. The Haas.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Hassel the Hoff, baby. So
really what Ruby Spears did, they partnered with Toei Animation and Hanno Hugh Up to do the animation for the series. They basically went to their writers. They gave them complete freedom to come up with this idea. But, Andrew, they outsourced the character design to a artist. So they hired an artist, and this is going to blow your socks off, Andrew. They got Jack Kirby to design.
It all makes sense. It all makes sense now. God, you don't know until somebody points it out. But yes, God, these are Kirby influenced characters if I've ever, especially Dark Rider. Are you fucking kidding me? That's got Jack Kirby written all over it.
Dude, when I found that out, I was just like, no. I was like, Andrew's never going to believe it.
No, because Jack Kirby has such an iconic design of things. The second you mentioned it, it was like an absolute click. I was like, oh my God, this show makes complete and total sense now as to why it looks the way it looks. Even the car, because the car is not really a full car. It's the mix between a third generation Camaro and a Pontiac Trans Am.
Andrew's the car guy. He would know, right?
Yeah. Hey, my brother's a car guy.
I know he is.
That's close enough.
But and that's it. That's the craziness behind this. They just I thought that was the most interesting thing was they hired Jack Kobe.
Absolutely.
But Andrew, not much more to talk about with the history. I mean, really, failed Reagan show. We've done those before. There's not much around them. So hit me with some of the voice actors.
So the voice cast for Turbo Teen is Frank Welker is Dark Rider, Flip, and Rusty. T.K. Carter is Alex. Pamela Hayden is Patty. Pat Fraley is Dr. Chase and Eddie. And Michael Mish is Brett Matthews.
Nice. I did, I saw someone mention the fact that Frank Welker in this show, basically he used, I can't remember what character it was from Inspector Gadget.
Oh, Dr. Claw?
Yeah. He basically, he did not create a new voice for this role. He just...
This seems like a very rare, I'm doing this for the paycheck, Frank Welker job. Because, he usually brings all that he's got to a role. But this time he was like, I'm good.
He was just like, my stocks are down. I just need a couple more dollars. That's it.
So for their other works, we have Frank Welker is Monty Uno, Nigel Uno's dad in Codename Kids Next Door.
There you go again.
Of all the things to find, that's not Fred Jones or Scooby-Doo.
Or Megatron.
T.K. Carter is Nollis in The Thing from 1982.
Ooh.
Pamela Hayden is Milhouse Van Houten in The Simpsons.
Ooh.
Pat Fraley is Krang in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
And finally, Michael Mish is Ego in The Seventh Guest, the video game.
Huh.
It looks like a PC game, like an old PC game.
Like that 90s, early 90s?
Yeah,
okay.
Like back when PC gaming was like the worst fucking thing in the world.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Turbo Teen as a show. One thing they don't mention in the intro. So we know what happened. He got shot with a molecular beam and got fused with his car.
Yeah.
The thing that they don't explain is if Brett gets hot, he turns into the car. And it's in the literal sense. Like if he is heated in any way, like he can just like put on a jacket and accidentally turn into a car.
Yep.
Like he ran too fast once and he just turned into the Turbo Teen. What I'm trying to get at here is this isn't a superpower. This is like a disease.
It's a hindrance.
Yeah. It's like having a seizure. Like if you're an epileptic, you can't be around fast flashing lights. Otherwise you'll have a seizure. The turbo, like going turbo is a hindrance and is an ailment.
Yep.
But fortunately, it's really easy to cure if you have somebody with you. If you don't, if he cools off, he's not a car anymore. So if he gets splashed with water in any capacity, he gets milk spilled on him in one episode and turns right back into a person. But it's just like, what is this? Like, why would you try to make this a superpower? It's the only time where he has literally zero control over what happens to his body
I mean,
at any given time.
is he just constantly a core during the summer months? I mean,
That's what I was thinking. There was an episode where he was in the desert and he stayed a car almost the whole time.
okay.
Another thing I thought was weird, he does not let his friends sit in the driver's seat. They always have to sit in the passenger, which should be a huge red flag for Dark Rider
Oh, yeah.
because nobody knows. I don't really think they go into depth what Dark Rider's goal is. He just wants
The core.
Brett
Yeah.
in the car. He wants the car and he wants Brett. And he is the only one who's put it together that Brett and the car are the one and the same. He's like, Brett Matthews is his car. And I remember one doctor was like, that's impossible. Nobody can be a car.
He was basically.
And this same professor made a de-evolutionary serum that turns dogs into wolves. And you're like, you don't believe that someone could turn into a car when you just made a concoction that can turn a dog into a wolf?
Yeah.
That's out of your wheelhouse.
Maybe Dark Rider was like kind of like the Elon Musk. Like he wanted a self-driving car, and he was like, "There it is, the self-driving car. I got to figure out
This
how
is
it
like
works."
the third episode you've mentioned Elon Musk. Have you learned something about this man or something?
No, it's
He's
easy.
been on your radar.
It's easy to poke fun at him. That's it.
Okay, that is true. Yeah, he's got a big target.
Talking about the hot thing, I
Yeah.
saw a clip. It was the best clip of it. I guess he needs to turn into a car. So him and his friend, Pat? TK. Sorry, yeah. Him and TK, they run into a salon, and he sits in one of those chairs that they put over the hair dryer chair thing.
Mm-hmm.
They put that on him to heat him up, and he transforms into this car in the middle of the salon. Ain't nobody freaking out, wondering what's going on. All the other ladies are just reading their magazines, and he drives out like nothing ever happened.
My favorite is he's at the school dance and he's dancing in it, and his two friends that know it's Alex and Eddie,
Okay.
I think, are his friends, and he
Oh yeah, I said the actual actor's name.
yeah, we said the actor's name. And so he starts dancing, and then he gets too hot, and his friends are like, keep your cool. And he gets too hot, and he turns into the car, but as he's dancing, he's still dancing as the car. We also got the friend's name wrong again. It's Alex.
Alex, look,
Alex, Eddie,
This show.
it's friend.
yeah.
So he's still dancing, and then he has to drive into a pool because people start freaking out because his tires are kicking and stuff like that. Another thing that I thought was very weird, he runs over a nail in an episode, and then he drives over a puddle, and turns back into Brett, and it's he's got his shoe has a nail in it because he loses his shoe as he's escaping Dark Rider. And it made me think, it's what if he's butt-ass naked? What does he just turn into? The frame of a car?
Look, we could dissect this, because it's what if somebody leaves something in his trunk? What happens then? Is it just
No, they explained that. They explained that pretty well, actually,
Really?
because their dog rides in the trunk or whatever, and it's just because like he's turned human while somebody's driving him, and they just kind of like, you know how little kids have like horsey rides
Yeah.
with their dad? They just do that, and it's like,
Weird.
that's it.
Weird.
Yeah, it's a very it's a very weird position to find with your friend.
Yeah.
If you opened up the door and they were just like that, and their excuse was, "Oh no, I was a car beforehand." I'm like, you guys can just tell me that you don't have to make this up.
The mom and dad's just like, from now on, we keep this door open.
We keep this door open. No more of this car business, all right, little mister? Also, there's a point where Brett turns into the car in the middle of the night, and his mom is like, keep it down. I'm like, there's a car in your house, woman. What do you think is going on in your kitchen?
This show, it was created just for kids. The no explanation, the no like, thinking things through. This is just pure, hey, here you go, you stupid kids. Enjoy.
Yeah, this is the absolute peak of don't think about it.
Just watch.
And they just watch it. It's like, you got 20 minutes of silence from your kids. You're welcome. Signed, ABC. And that's what this show was. And it's like, it wasn't even to successfully sell them anything at this point.
No.
Because it was just like, they got a shitty GoBot and a coloring book, and I'm sure nobody got that.
No, I'm sure if someone has that toy, just because of how rare it probably is,
Oh, it's got to be worth a bunch.
you're sitting on like tens of dollars gold mine there.
Ones of tens of dollar bills of money.
That's it. But Andrew,
Well, Joel, I believe, yes.
this show, it being such a obscure thing of the past, it is like everywhere. Like, it is the zeitgeist. Like, it is all over the place. We've seen them make fun of it in Robot Chicken. We've seen it made fun in Teen Titans Go, Rick and Morty, The Simpsons, the Futurama. They even made fun of it on a Rotten Tomatoes show, like commercial or something called Current TV on Current TV. But
would you say the Futurama episode where Bender gets hit by a werecar is parodying the Turbo Teen? Or is that more of a werewolf parody? Because what else would a robot turn into? A robot werewolf?
It's the transformation of Bender.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even talk about that yet. That is some of the fucking most body horror things I've ever seen. I feel like if they ever to make a live action movie, which we did a live action prediction on our Patreon, patreon.com/cartoondd of the Biker Mice from Mars live action movie that's coming out later. But if they did a live action of this is a horror movie.
100%.
100%. This is a body horror movie of the utmost disturbing degree. Even the transformation sequence in the cartoon is a little disturbing.
This is going to be like Tusk level.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it happens like within the span of a minute every time the temperature. And what is considered hot to him? Realistically, what is considered hot to him?
If he gets he gets a fever, does he transform?
Oh man, does he transform? Because he can get it through running. Can he not? Can he go to a burger place? He fucking goes near the fryer and he gets too close to the kitchen. Boom.
You find out
his mom's
later in life, he just becomes this out of shape, overweight man because he doesn't want to transform into this car anymore.
Yeah.
So he can't.
But even then, fat people run hot. And does his weight affect what kind of car he turns into? Does he turn into like a shitty Pontiac?
Too many questions. There's too many unanswered questions about this.
And we're never going to get them.
Nope.
What kind of car would you want to turn into if you were a turbo middle-aged adult? Because we can't be a turbo teen. We're both in our 30s.
That's an interesting question. Like, I would want to answer that with, I wouldn't want to turn into any kind of car because.
Well, you got shot with one, so what? That's not how this hypothetical works.
I don't know. Maybe just some expensive sports car. I guess. I mean,
I wouldn't want to be that. You'd be so prone to being stolen.
Let me just be a motorcycle then.
Ooh, okay.
I'm slim.
I would say an El Camino. I'd love to be an El Camino. How does Brett fill himself up? Is he fueled by food?
This episode is just how do we make sense of the show Turbo Teen?
How do we make sense of one of the dumbest shows ever made? But no, seriously, like, can he run out of gas? If he runs out of gas, does he die?
Does he need to change his oil? I mean,
that's a good point.
Like, we see, like, there was a gear shifter. I mean, those complex mechanics.
He's a straight drive car.
Yeah. I mean, he was another one. If he gets dirty as a car, he can never go to a car wash because he's just going to transform.
Well, yeah, they show that in the opening. He tries to go to a car wash and he turns back into a boy.
I mean, it makes no sense.
Then, well, it's, you know what else is also weird? It doesn't matter what he's wearing. He always turns into the same car. Because even when he had a tux on, he still turned into that red car.
Yep.
So, like, his shoes, no matter what, they're black tires.
But he lost a shoe that had a nail in it because he ran over a nail. So if
they don't show him transforming again, so I don't know if that's just a rim.
But if he transformed without shoes on, does he not have tires? So like it's just sitting on the rims?
Assume.
I mean, and his two front hands transform into the two front wheels.
That's true, and he's not wearing gloves. So many questions. We could be here all day.
Just trying to make sense of a nonsense.
To figure out how to. If they make a live action Turbo Teen, those writers got a lot of work to do.
It would be right up there with the live action Jim and the holograms.
Yeah, it would absolutely.
Yep.
What else was? Oh yeah, I feel like this would be something that would happen in the Fast and the Furious, like later on. Like when they make like Fast 15.
Yes. Oh my God. One of them. Just a throwaway character.
One of them turns into a car?
Do a throwaway character that dies almost immediately because...
Just bring in the Turbo Teen. I know we've said that the Street Shark should be in Fast and Furious, but we have a new goal of getting the Turbo Teen in the Fast and the Furious. I don't know who I need to call.
Vin Diesel.
I feel like Al, Al, our producer, like be like, hey Al, can we get a sit down with whoever's in charge of the Fast and the Furious?
Like, make it happen.
He's on TV. He's on that show on Hulu. Episode 4. You can see him.
Really? Oh.
I don't know what the show is called.
Yeah, that would have been a good plug for the show, but...
It would have been a good plug. I could look it up if you want to edit out the dead air.
We're leaving this in.
You're going to have...
We're leaving this in.
All right. Okay.
No, I'll edit out the dead air, but we're leaving in the whole... That would have been...
Oh, no, I meant that. Yeah. I see. It just says episode 4 on Hulu.
Oh, so it's the show...
Oh, it's the WAF 100?
WAF?
What is the WAF?
Is that wrestling?
No, the We Are Family box. We Are Family. Yeah, it's called We Are Family. And he's on episode 4.
Ah,
And it's on Hulu.
check it out.
You can see the man who's behind the network we're on.
Oh, I know what that show is. That's the show where they get like relatives of like some, famous people. And like the judges try to guess who their relatives are. So who's Al's relative? Find out.
Ooh, wait, I thought Al was just guessing.
Oh, maybe he is guessing. I don't know.
I think you just grab people to just guess.
Oh, maybe that's it then.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah, check it out. I might watch
I
it.
might too now, just to figure out
Yeah,
what
he said
it is.
he listens to all of our stupid ass episodes. The least I can do is watch the one episode of TV he's on.
Yep.
But Joel, I believe it's time to go to your new reoccurring segment. Reviews that go turbo and reviews that fall flat.
That's the best you got, Andrew.
God, what? That was okay. I thought that
I thought
was pretty good.
the Tobo one was good, but the falling
Oh,
flat.
fall flat like a flat tire? That's nothing to you son of a
You
bitch.
could have said, or reviews that have a flat tire.
Okay, fine. You know what? Why don't you fucking think of the next one next week?
So, Andrew,
Criticize me.
even though this show only has like a 5.5 rating, I could not find any actual 1-star reviews. I found a 10
Okay,
out of 10.
Back up. It's a 5.5 rating out of 262 people.
Look, people are not bothering with wasting their time to leave any reviews. They'll just like, don't watch it, move on with your life.
Yeah.
But this is a 10 out of 10, titled Amazing Story and Heart Moving.
Debatable, but okay.
This was done back in 2021.
Oh.
As someone who, okay, I now understand. As someone who identifies as a core,
What?
I can't even get through this. As someone who identifies as a core, this really speaks to me on a personal level. I almost feel as if this show was made for me, and I'm ashamed that I wasn't born when this show had aired. I can't explain just how much the main character and I relate. Were basically the same person. As I also identify as a red core, seeing this person able to be who he is by turning into a core moves me to tears frequently.
That's not a real person.
Okay,
That's made up.
no, you say that.
I see the review, but there's not a person who identifies as a car.
There was a dude who will have sex with his core.
That doesn't mean he thinks he's another car.
Okay,
Look,
look.
I'm just gonna.
Look, all I'm saying,
I'm erring on the side that this is a joke.
It probably is a joke, but David Rowley 16385, they could identify as a core.
They could if they wanted to, but I don't think that they do. And if they do, and they come at me, I'm sorry.
You better be careful, Andrew.
Just don't.
He's gonna run you over.
If you say things badly about a person who's identified as a car, are you also transphobic?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I thought I was going to get a laugh out of you. Transmission,
Oh,
whatever.
I didn't
Okay,
get it.
fine.
I didn't get it.
Apparently, Apparently, I'm up here comedically.
You are.
I'll wait for you to fucking catch up.
But it was a good one. That was hilarious.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You got to dumb down the humor for me, Andrew.
I'll just make more fart noises. I'll go. All right. I hope you always enjoy these late night recordings, listener.
They get off.
I feel like they can tell.
They get off the track, don't they, Andrew?
Yeah, they do. Well, I believe that wraps up Turbo Teen. Any closing thoughts on this ill-attempted Knight Rider?
Don't watch it.
It's actually pretty easy to watch. They should have just made a Knight Rider animated series.
Would have been better.
Why not?
Yep.
That's about all I can say about it.
Yep.
If you'd like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/cartoondd. There we have a $5 tier that gets you stickers, pins, access to our Discord, episodes that are ad-free and have extended audio, bonus episodes, and that's it. That's pretty good for $5 a month. We have a website, cartoondumpsterdive.com. There you can request a cartoon. It's the best way to request a cartoon. It goes straight to my email. You can request an anime, cartoon, 2 cartoons go head-to-head in a junkyard brawl. We have a X handle, Cartoon DD. We have a Facebook, TikTok, Threads, Instagram, all Cartoon Dumpster Dive. And as always, we appreciate a 5-star review on the podcasting platform of your choice so we can ride the highway to be a Turbo podcast. Have a great rest of your week.
See ya. Good sign off, Andrew.
This has been a Lug Hole Podcast.